What's good? It's your boy CJ Goodfellow. We back with the Boxing Clinic one time for the Happy Turkey Day, Thanksgiving over there in the States. We definitely gonna enjoy it, and hopefully y'all enjoy it and stay safe, and don't drink and drive for sure. I'm big on that. But was watching an interview with Gary Russell Jr. and you won't believe the excuse that he used for a piss poor performance by his standards and a below average performance by my standards versus Vasyl Lomachenko. And he also was asked about who he picked to win between Rigondeaux and Lomachenko. I'm gonna catch that fade at the end of the video and break down his thoughts on that. But like I said, I'm gonna leave the interview in the description. Shout out to Ben Thompson and Fight Hype. Much respect, much love. One of the first little boxing things I was paying attention to, boxing entities, and rock out with them tough. But Gary Russell said that, and I'm gonna take you back down memory lane real quick. Before I even started this page, I was with another page. Shout out to Colossal Boxing Talk. I did a prediction video and I picked Lomachenko, and I took a lot of slack on that. If I can find a video and you can read the comments, you will be amazed how many people was picking Gary Russell. And the knock was Gary Russell hadn't fought the good competition. But when I seen Lomachenko fight Salido, I seen something in him that in one night he gained at least the 10 fights or 15 fights that most upstarters, prospects, target tenders on their way to being world champions. He got that in one night. He got a lesson from Orlando Salido, even though he was overweight, but he got a boxing one-on-one professional experience from Salido that paid off in volumes for him to be where he is in his career. Same thing with Andre Ward fight did for Sullivan Barrera. That's what it did for Lomachenko, the Salido fight. And I picked him based on, his skill in that fight. And Gary Russell hadn't been tested on that fight, on that level, even though he had 20-something fights, I believe. But Russell says the excuse was that he was using a scale that was 5 pounds off the whole camp. And they didn't know until, I guess, too late, And he says that he was 1.5 pounds over on that scale. I think coming into fight week, he said it ain't nothing. Usually that's what it is, getting close to their way in, shade an extra pound, and, and then I guess when they found out, you gotta watch the interview, I forgot that part, they just chose to, still make the weight or do what they did, make the weight. Said he got in the ring, and he was drained, He said after the fight, I think he fired his physical conditioning and strength coach. And maybe that's the reason why that guy brought that scale into the camp. And maybe it's true, maybe it's not. But he still was competitive in that fight. But I feel Lomachenko deserved to earn more than a split decision. Should have been a unanimous decision. But he got the win, and that's all that matters. It was Al Heyman versus a Bob Arum fighter for a vacant WBO title that at 126 pounds featherweight that Salido had to vacate because Lomachenko didn't win it and he didn't make weight in Salido. So they fought for that title, and Lomachenko won. And Gary Russell still having sour grapes over that. Says that Lomachenko don't punch hard. And I think that's where the conversation started at, because he asked Ben Thompson, I believe, asked about Rigondeaux and Lomachenko fight, and he's one of the main points says that basically Lomachenko couldn't knock him out when basically he was a dead dream man in the ring, and he doesn't have the power, and he's very overrated. And that Gary Russell said that he wanted to get a chance to put a foot up his butt. Again, he said he don't care if Rigondeaux knocks him out, he loses 10 more. He got to run it back and catch that fade. And he's been advocating to get that rematch for a long time, and he wants to get that rematch. And he says in past he'd chase Lomachenko to whatever weight that he would go to just to get that rematch. And, it is what it is. That's what happens when you don't stay active, which Gary Russell was active early in his career because he fought a lot of fights, I believe. Didn't get a chance to go to the Olympics because he got sick or something, but he was active, but he had hand injuries, he had layoffs. That's the only reason where he only fights one time a year, because he had hand injuries. But he needs to be more active, Let's be honest. He's fighting one time a year, and then now he fought in May. Now he's talking about fighting the next May. Come on now. And then I seen a guy's video who tried to say, oh, that's a typical profile of an Al Heyman fighter. If you getting paid one time good enough to survive for the rest of the year, do it. But it just sounds like sour grapes for him. But he picked Rigondeaux to possibly beat Lomachenko. Gave Rigondeaux mad props, saying that it's not too many people, not too many fighters that have the the speed, the IQ, the ability to make adjustments without going to the corner, and power in both hands, and he gives Rigondeaux the edge to beat Vasyl Lomachenko. You know, he backs it. Maybe he's just still sour over Lomachenko, or maybe, in his opinion, Lomachenko isn't that good, you know, and maybe he isn't that impressed by Lomachenko, but he feels the size won't be a factor, especially with the rehydration clause. He feels that, you know, Rigondeaux is going to do the damn thing. I'm not one to say that he's being biased or have some personal versus Lomachenko, but you know, a lot of people picking Rigondeaux. I know who I'm picking, but I'm waiting till the week of the fight to drop the prediction video. So why would you watch a prediction video if I tell you who I'm picking now? But those who know me closely know who I'm rolling with. But got mad respect for all three fighters: Rigondeaux, Lomachenko, and Russell. Let me know what y'all think and check out the interview description and the link. We out.